Hi, everybody. I decided just to do some short videos about my sitting the month experience, whether just for posterity's sake, my daughter can watch these videos, or for any of you who are interested in what sitting the month actually is and what we do. Here we go. So, sitting the month is an ancient Chinese postpartum tradition. And actually, a lot of different cultures have something similar. They call it like postpartum confinement, is the more general term. And a lot of the Asian countries and even like South American countries, African cultures have something similar. I am Chinese. I am from Hong Kong specifically, so southern China, and every region does it a little differently, have different rules, and it's slightly different. So my experience may not be the same as a woman from northern China or from Taiwan, but this is how we sit the month. Basically, the premise is that after you give birth, you want to create an environment for the mom to be able to recover and rejuvenate, and then take care of the newborn, of course. And so the whole 30 days, and some cultures sit for 100 days actually, or 90 days. But for 30 days for us, we do a lot of specific nutrition things, things that we don't do also to try and help the mom recover best she can. Because let's face it, giving birth is a big deal, no pun intended. And maybe it doesn't feel like such a big deal these days because, you have a lot of moms choose epidurals, and it's, I don't know, maybe it doesn't feel as big of a deal, or especially living in Idaho where people have more children than maybe average. I don't know, like maybe it's just like, oh, it's another kid. But especially in China where you're really only allowed to, well, it's different now, but for a long time you're only allowed to have one. So like it was a huge deal. But I mean, this ancient tradition was way before the one-child policy. So I digress. But if you think about it, I mean, you as a mom are giving life to another human being. Like, that really sucks the life out of you and the energy out of you. And so, and you realize that during pregnancy, hormones that are out of whack, and your whole body system is just kind of like, whoa. So it's really important after birth to kind of reset your body to find the new equilibrium for healing and for rejuvenation purposes. So there are 3 phases in sitting the month. Okay, and this is all based on traditional Chinese medicine, and the philosophies of Chinese medicine is balance. Okay, you may have heard of the yin and the yang, the symbol with the black and the white. That's what health is, when your body is in equilibrium. And when there's disease, it's because there's imbalance of something, too much heat, too much moisture, too much coldness, too much wind. So Chinese medicine seeks to find that equilibrium and to cure that imbalance. After you give birth, you lose a lot of blood and a lot of qi, which is the Chinese term for life force. Yes, may the force be with you. And on that note, I mean, think about that last scene in one of those last new Star Wars movies when Kylo Ren, right? That's his name, like saves Rey, and like basically he transfers his life force to Rey and she lives, and then like he dies. Yeah, it's a miracle that moms don't die when they're given birth. That gets intense. I can share my birth story in another video. I do mine unmedicated and natural births, and that's a story in and of itself. Anyways, so in order to replenish the lost chi and blood, you need to be very careful not to overexpose yourself to elements such as wind, cold, wetness, or moisture, because these are elements that can cause disease. And whether the disease happens now or 20, 30 years down the road, we don't want it. So that is the basis of kind of all that we do during Sitting the Month to try and prevent the mom from exposure to these elements. And in Western medicine, that would be the pathogens, right? In the germ theory, you're trying to avoid exposure to germs. And so that leads me to my garb during Sitting the Month. Yes, it is not glamorous at all, and I'm not going to bother changing to do anything fancy because this is the real deal. That pun was intended. So you're going to see this. No context. This I try to keep on, but this is to protect all the acupressure points that are on the forehead, and there are several very important ones, so you want to keep those protected, because after you give birth, your pores and your joints, they're open, they are exposed to the elements, and so we want to make sure we protect them so we don't absorb too much cold or wetness or wind, because those can cause disease. And you'll see that I am wearing long sleeves. I've had to go out for my newborn doctor's visit, which traditionally that wouldn't have happened, but we modernize things a little bit, and I definitely had to get my headgear on, and I wore a scarf even the end of August, still part of summer, and I'm wearing long pants, and kind of show you here, and my lovely Sitting the Month slippers. And I have my socks. Yes, so stylish, right? Socks and slippers. And you'll see this loveliness, the abdominal binder. Pretty self-explanatory on that one. Just trying to help that abdominal region kind of clamp down and, re-find your waist. Principles of Sitting the Month are in 3 phases, okay? First phase is what we call ping, and that means mild. So in this mild phase, we're eating things that help the body finish detoxing, meaning passing the lochia, and preparing the body for a good recovery process. And also we want to help promote milk production and milk flow. So all the foods we eat during that time are milder in intrinsic characteristics and flavor. And then we move on to the second phase. The second phase is what we call one, and one means warm. So we're kind of upping the nutrition a little, not nutrition, but the heat value. And what I mean by that is every food, according to the Chinese tradition, has a characteristic. They could be hot or cold or warm or wet or dry. And we eat these things according to what our body needs, and also according to the seasons, actually. And so during this second stage where we want to eat warm foods, we are starting that recovery process, trying to get the body to heal and rejuvenate. So we're adding a little bit of oomph to the body. And then the third phase is when we really, it's like putting fertilizer in your plants to help things grow and, cells repair and yada, yada. So that's the re phase, which is heat, hot. And that's when you can eat more foods that are very, very nourishing to really give that last kick in the recovery process. So kind of a 3-part process here in Sitting the Month. I will go into more detail about the food and drink in my other video, but this is the foundation of Sitting the Month. And goodness, if I can bring more awareness to this postpartum practice, maybe we can start to integrate this into America a little bit more, because I know that a lot of my friends want to, they like the idea of this tradition because women need the physical and emotional support that's offered during a Sitting the Month. In China, I will tell you, and in other Asian countries, they have these centers called yuezi centers that help mothers sit the month. And they range from like a little over $2,000 to $10,000-$20,000 for a month. And they take care of the mother, all her nutrition needs, like 5 meals a day. They provide entertainment, because part of Sitting the Month also is not just physical rejuvenation, but like mental and emotional support too. So that's very important, like to keep the mother in a good mood and lighthearted and happy. So they provide entertainment. They will take care of that newborn for you. Really, all you need to do is feed the baby, and then after that, they're taken care of. So it's kind of a life of luxury here. I mean, there, if you were in one of those centers, fabulous, right? Unfortunately, we don't have that here. I am just fortunate enough that my angel parents, especially my amazing mom, always travels from China to be with me during this postpartum period. I have 4 children, just had my 4th little over a week ago. Crazy. And she's been here every time. She's amazing. And this could not have happened without her, because she's the guru. And you can take classes to learn how to sit the month for yourself or for somebody else. I know a lot of mothers, Chinese mothers, take this class for their own daughters. It is a wonderful tradition. Hard to observe, I know. Not everybody has the luxury to do that. So I am grateful, and I am happy to share my experience with you. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for my next video, where we will be talking about food and all the yumminess that comes with Sitting the Month.